Hello, I'm Dave O'Connell with a word about what's in this week's Connacht Tribune. Our lead story might sound like it comes from a different era, but it's very much from the present, and it concerns anger among Catholics at the construction of a Sunday school in Ardrahan, which is built over the remains and right alongside the graves of Catholics. It should be said that the Church of Ireland school has full planning permission and there were no objections to that application at the time, but it's been branded by some locals and indeed one county councillor as insensitive, and you can see why they might say that from our photographs. Now, the centenary of World War I is very much in the news, and we have the fascinating story of one Galway man who died 100 years ago this month in France. George Morris was the father of Lord Killannon, the long-time president of the International Olympic Committee, and the current Lord Killannon, his son Redmond Morris, who is well known in his own right as a film producer. He has written the story of his grandfather George, and indeed the letters he exchanged with his wife Dora, that's Redmond's grandmother, right up to the days just before his death. It's an evocative tale vividly brought to life by Redmond, who is also just back from a major family outing to northern France to visit the village where George, who was the commander of the 1st Battalion of the Irish Guards, where he was killed on horseback, and they also visited his grave there. We have an exclusive in the lineup for this year's Galway Comedy Festival with the likes of Des Bishop and Rich Hall, Tommy Tiernan and so many more coming here over the 12-day event. And we have a piece with actor Paul Bradley, who would be better known to soap fans as Nigel from EastEnders or indeed Elliot Hope from Holby City, on why he's participating in this month's Galway Hospice Memorial Walk in memory of his brother Dara. We joined those who availed of last week's open day at Tuam's Pieta House, and we also have a most revealing piece from 19-year-old NUIG student from Belclare called Ryan Mangan. He writes very movingly and indeed through poetry about the reality of depression and how the suicide of a schoolmate from St. Jarlath's affected him and so many others. In sport, it's a big weekend on the local GAA front with 8 senior hurling group games and 2 intermediate football semi-finals. But Stephen Glennon also has an interesting story on an initiative to hold on to juveniles, or at least to avoid the high dropout rate, by putting a new emphasis on recreational as well as competitive action during those underage years. So all of that and loads more in this week's paper in the shops from early this Thursday morning and every Thursday morning, or you can download our digital edition at connachttribune.ie, or indeed download the free app and get a week's free subscription.